Hi, I'm Rachel Warnock. I'm currently in the Intuitive Awakening series with Deborah Lightheart, and we just had our first class last Thursday, so I thought I would share a little bit about what unfolded for me during that first meditation. So a little background, I have been on my intuitive journey for about the last 20 years, but still working, still growing, still on the path. Perfection evolves, and definitely in an evolutionary phase for myself. So, about 3 years ago, in the spring of 2014, a snow leopard spirit came into my life, and ironically, it was during my very first energy bath with Deborah. And that was when she first came into my awareness. And 2 years later, she finally told me her name. She is definitely a cat spirit in the sense that she is very elusive and private. And it took me 2 years before she would tell me her name. And so now we're actively working together. And she was the spirit that came to me in the meditation that we just did when Deborah asked us to find our guide, and then our guide showed us a path that we were going to be walking on, and that path was the metaphor for our spiritual awakening journey. And so we're in the meditation, and my snow leopard is with me, and I'm on a snowy mountain with a jacket and boots and a backpack and everything, like I'm climbing the Himalayas. And I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at me, and she's totally unencumbered because she's a snow leopard. This is her home turf, and she's just like, I ain't cold. So I'm looking at me and thinking, my walking's not heavy now, like it's not super hard, but there's wind, there's snow. Every step that I take, I'm carrying stuff. I have these big snow boots on, and I'm like, okay, so it's not difficult, but my walking is definitely encumbered. And as we get higher in altitude with thinner oxygen, I'm like, oh, this is gonna get hard. So I'm looking at her, and I'm like, so what's up with this? What's going on? And she's just like, no, she's a very serious but also sassy kitty cat. And so she looks at me, and she's just like, this ain't base camp. And at which point I laughed. But so, it just goes to show that 20 years on the journey, and there's still baggage that needs to be dealt with. And so I think I'm going to be in a journey over the next 6 weeks, learning how to climb a mountain without having to have all these, human things that I can just be impervious to the cold, like my snow leopard, something like that. We'll see how it unfolds. I'm excited about it. One other thing I wanted to note, that we had our first class on the day that Saturn went retrograde, which is pretty exciting because Saturn deals with karma and evening the scales and balancing the scales. So the energies in the cosmos right now are definitely facilitating a position where we can be growing, where we can be delving into ourselves and getting really deep into our intuition, into ourselves, into what we want, into our goals and desires and aspirations, and processing things. So it's pretty exciting that the universe is facilitating that. And I am, for one, definitely looking forward to what's going to unfold over the next 6 weeks while we're in class. So super looking forward to it. Love connecting with all of you guys. Love having you in class, and looking forward to it. Cheers!